welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. In this video, I am recapping episode 2 of P-Valley, and we got a lot to unpack. There was a lot going on in this episode. Like, I felt like this episode was just about everybody kind of being pimped for one thing or another. Like, everybody is kind of operating under an oppressive and corrupt system and just doing their best to survive. Sound familiar? We got a little bit more insight into Autumn's background. She had PTSD, Chad. I was like, what the hell is going on? So let's just jump right in. I do have a question. They keep alluding to the fact that there are a lot of Mexican men kind of hanging around the club right now, and I'm wondering, like, if there's something to that. Like, are we gonna find out why that is later? Because it seems like they're very out of place. So what does that have to do with anything? We also find out Uncle Clifford is in the hole for like 55 stacks, and maybe I have limited beliefs about how much money a strip club can bring in or how much they're doing, but I don't know how he gonna pull that one off. A friend of mine made a really good point about Uncle Clifford that I wanted to touch on, that, and I'm actually not sure about what pronouns they use. Anywho, I really love how there isn't any, or we haven't seen any homophobia surrounding Uncle Clifford's appearance, identity, the way they carry themselves. All of the men around seem to still respect them, and I really appreciate that. And I want to attribute that to the fact that there are so many women writers, and we don't always have to show the trauma of homophobia. We know that it exists, but I'm happy to just see that they're a part of their community and that they don't get gay bashed. That just made me really happy. Autumn still changes in the stall. Is that so she can sneak and drink? Is she hiding something on her body? I was thinking maybe she's trying to hide her C-section scar because she doesn't want people to know that she has a child, which we guess that she has a child based on, you know, the pictures in her phone. That's what I'm suspecting, because I think if people know that she has a child, they'll start asking questions about where her baby is, and we still don't know. So even when we got to the part where she was, you know, making the phone calls asking about if these different bodies have been identified, I'm like, who are these people? Like, was there a huge accident? Like, what are we trying to find out here? I have so many questions about her. And the fact that Uncle Clifford called her Summer's Eve instead of Autumn Night, that just sent me chair. I hate Mercedes' mom. And speaking to the fact that everyone is kind of being pimped in one way or another, Mercedes' mom is being used by the pastor of the church to get money from Mercedes by dangling the prospect of her being able to, like, preach in the pulpit. That is so disgusting to me, that this is a part of the hypocrisy of church that I have a really huge problem with, that they'll criticize certain people's lifestyles or certain people's life choices, but will gladly take money from any of those people under the guise of them paying tithes. I'm sorry, but Mercedes don't owe nobody $20,000 in tithes. And she wants to help Uncle Clifford to get out of the hole and asked her mom for the $20,000 back that she gave them so that the church could secure this loan. And we all know she, you know, the pastor actually wants her to ask Mercedes for more money. And I know particularly in the Black community, communities of color, it can be really hard to stand up to your parents, particularly to stand up to your mom, because she's your mom, and we're raised to have this blind allegiance to our parents, to never call them to task. And I know people personally whose parents still have a really strong hold on the way that they live their lives. So I really hope to see Mercedes at some point pull away from her mom, especially financially, so that she can continue to emotionally manipulate her into doing things with her money that she criticizes her for the way she earns it. I continue to like to see Mercedes as a cheerleading coach, because we all grew up with a cheerleading coach or a dance coach that was just like overly aggressive, but also like really loved us. It was just such a weird dynamic. And we see that she's putting some of her money towards opening a studio so that these girls have somewhere to practice. And you really get to see how even when you try to do the right thing, even when you try to save up money, and you know she wants to retire from stripping, I don't think that she's going to be able to, because Uncle Clifford needs help keeping the doors open, and we'll get to that in a little bit. You know, she also has to, I'm sure she has her own living expenses. She also has to pay for the rent on this studio that she's gotten for these cheerleaders. And then her mom's hand is always in her pocket. So it feels like, how is she going to leave this job and do something else when she has these other responsibilities? And I think a lot of people can speak to that. I think a lot of people would love to be able to quit their jobs and, you know, do something more fulfilling. But when bills keep piling up, we still owe on student loans and all kinds of stuff, you end up kind of feeling stuck in just doing what you got to do, using what you got to get what you want. Shouts out to Players Club. That's really kind of what I think the theme of this episode was, which we get to the opening scene. I have to say, I think men who do full frontal nudity outside of porn, just like in regular like TV or film, I think they are so brave. I was so surprised to hear them use the term wasted yellow. I have only heard older Black people use the term wasted yellow to refer to either a very, very light-skinned person who is not attractive in spite of their light-skinnedness, because colorism, or it's a person who is very, very fair-skinned but still can't quite pass and still isn't quite doing anything to take advantage of the privileges that come along with being fair-skinned. So I was like, oh, that's a deep cut right there. Come to find out that this guy, Corbin, is the illegitimate child of a very wealthy white man who has passed away. The white man has 2 sons who live on a cotton plantation, and Obama Boo is trying to facilitate the sale of that land so that a casino can be built there. And Corbin does not want to outright sell the land. He wants to lease it, because over the course of time, they would get more money than this $6 million lump sum. I am not in real estate. I am not in investments. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, they're trying to use the Black guy to communicate to their Black brother what, you know, would be more beneficial. And Corbin is trying to tell him, like, actually, if you help me to get this land leased as opposed to outright selling it, I'll give you a kickback. And he alludes to the fact that the mayor, who we met earlier in the episode, is corrupt and he's done more for less. I don't like that mayor. I can tell you that right now. I don't like him. So upon finding this out and finding out that Autumn has a relationship with him and that Autumn is using someone else's identity to strip, Uncle Clifford is like, well, we're going to take advantage of your vulnerability here, and you're going to get me information about what's going on with this casino. So it's like, is he fighting to hold on to a building that's not even really going to be there when and if this casino gets built? And he, you know, Uncle Clifford is visibly shook this episode. Like, they don't know how they're going to pay for things. And they lose the cook. First of all, the fact that the wings were giving people gas, I'm sorry, I found that hilarious. Because that is part of something that I wonder about dancers. Like, what do you do when you're on your period? What do you do if you have a stomach situation? Like, you still out there shaking your bare ass? I got questions. So Lil Murda decides that he's going to make himself useful and continue this entanglement with Uncle Clifford. And while I appreciate his ingenuity, you can't be giving people drugs without their consent. Like, what are you talking about? So I do appreciate the exchange of information that he's telling Uncle Clifford, like, you need to get hookahs, you need to get a money gun, you need to update the experience here, so that you can start making more money. And you know, Uncle Murder is like, you need a new producer because your music is trash. So their banter continues to be really funny to me. And we'll see where that goes. The fact that he put that CD in Uncle Murder's car, and Uncle Murder, oh my God, in Uncle Clifford's car, and Uncle Clifford was like, I'm not that damn old. That sent me, because where's anyone playing a CD? Anywho, Autumn had a legit PTSD episode during the car wash. I'm still trying to, did someone try to drown her in a car and she escaped? What happened to her? I have so many questions. But then Mercedes gives her a ride home. And when Mercedes said, damn, you ain't gonna offer a bitch no red drink, my soul, my southern soul, I have not had Kool-Aid in probably over a decade. And I think if I tried to drink it, I would actually die. But I thought that was hilarious. She continues to be really secretive. Mercedes continues to have smoke for her, which I kind of get, but I kind of don't. Seemed like some hating, insecure shit, actually, which I like Mercedes, but I do not abide haters at all. There was something else that I found really interesting, too. Oh, so it seems like the mayor maybe wants... So I don't think that they have a liquor license, even though they are selling liquor. I don't think they actually have a liquor license, and it seems like the mayor is telling Uncle Clifford that if you want to get this liquor license, the girls have to be clothed. I don't understand how that works. It seems like he's trying to create some sort of morality ordinance, but he does not seem to be a very moral person. I just have so many questions about like what's happening here, outside of the blatant corruption. So we end the episode with some really intense phone sex between Autumn and Obama Bay. They have this whole moment of like, I'll show you my scars if you show me yours kind of thing. And then I think that he's actually married. Big surprise. Like, none of us should be surprised that dudes play in our faces like this. But I think, you know, again, Autumn is using someone else's identity. I couldn't figure out, so who is Lakeisha Savage? Because she has access to this person's banking information, which we saw when she was on the computer, and it was like, where is this? Is this computer in a laundromat? Where are we? And it was really puzzling, because yeah, I can't figure out her life. It seems like she was in an abusive relationship that she escaped from, but because she gives Obama Boo this information about setting up a shell corporation so that he could legally take the kickback money, maybe the person who she previously dated was doing some sort of fraudulent investment activity and she found out and had to leave. I don't know. I'm still trying to just piece together like what this girl's life is. Because she continues to kind of drop these hints that she's like educated and or cultured. And what happened? I can't wait to see how this turns out, actually. So she starts to, you know, per Uncle Clifford's instruction / threat, she's decided that she's going to use her connection with this guy to get information from him about the casino. So this was just kind of laying the groundwork for that. So yeah, a lot going on this episode. I want Mercedes' mom to be punched in the face twice. We'll see what happens. You know, will Lil Murder's career take off? Who knows? You know, will Uncle Clifford be able to save the club? Who knows? Is this casino gonna happen? It all remains to be seen. But again, I'm hoping that the acting continues to improve over the course of the episodes. I think it's getting better. The music is A1. There's a playlist somewhere. If I come across it, I'll include it in the episode description. And I just need to know. I need to know where Autumn came from. I'm too nosy to not know. You know, will Mercedes' mama give her back this $20,000? Probably not. And then what's gonna happen? So we'll see what happens next time. I'm still enjoying the show. I hope you guys are still enjoying the show. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Become a patron if you'd like to help me to continue to create content for free. And share this video. Let's get to chatting about these sex workers in the Mississippi Delta. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.